The conspiracies about the Joe Biden and Mike Pence classified document situations are growing. Marjorie Taylor Greene is now suggesting that Joe Biden was set up with the documents by Democrats because Democrats don't want Biden to run again. Let's start with this clip. Then I'll remind you of the one from 2 days ago where Tucker had his own conspiracy theory about this.
Of this criticism from Democrats of Mr. Biden and his handling of classified documents.
Well, they're right to say those things, but it also makes me wonder something else that other people have been wondering. Are we seeing a setup for them to try to get Joe Biden not to run for president and perhaps make way for someone else to run for president in 2024? I think those are interesting things to think about. But I'm glad to see, Democrat senators and different Democrats just claiming what is absolutely true. How reckless and irresponsible. It shows that he's not fit for office. I'll say it again, impeach Joe Biden, and now we just have more reasons to do so.
Yeah. So, of course, very, very quiet is Marjorie Taylor Greene on the Mike Pence thing. You know, sometimes when there's a conspiracy theory, you can plausibly come up with some kind of motive, but no further evidence. I don't even think the motive makes sense here. And what I mean by that is maybe I'm naive. There are many fair criticisms of Joe Biden. I don't think Joe Biden would be irrational if the establishment, insiders, advisors, trusted people came to him and said, listen, you shouldn't run for re-election, and here's why. I think if that was actually presented to Joe Biden because top Democrats believed it to be true, I really do believe Joe Biden would listen. I don't think you would need to try to push him out of running for re-election by creating a fake scandal by planting documents. I just don't see any reason why you would need to do that. Now, one of the other important things to consider is this a confession from Marjorie Taylor Greene? Because oftentimes allegations from Republicans about things Democrats supposedly did are actually confessions of things they did. We found that out very quickly in the 2020 election. So maybe it did happen, but it's actually Republicans who did it. I don't know. But the very same people furious about what happened with Biden seem to be silent about what happened with Mike Pence. Now, as a reminder, this is not the only conspiracy theory regarding classified documents. 2 days ago, I played this clip for you, where Tucker Carlson had the idea that it's hard to keep up now. The Mike Pence documents were set up to make Trump look bad and take attention away from Joe Biden.
He said that a few times. Then just days ago, Mike Pence sent his personal attorney to search his family's home in Carmel, Indiana for classified documents.
Right.
Now, if Mike Pence didn't think he had classified documents, why would he send his lawyer to go look for classified documents? We can't say for certain, but it's entirely possible, in fact, it's likely, that Mike Pence was asked to do this by federal prosecutors who are trying to build a case against his old boss, Donald Trump. Now, the point would be to show that not every federal official walks off with state secrets. Donald Trump was uniquely evil in that regard, as in so many others. See, Mike Pence didn't do it. So if that was the plan, and we suspect that it was, it backfired spectacularly because Mike Pence's lawyer promised.
If this is actually what happened and we have no evidence for it, it is completely irresponsible conjecture that I just came up with 5 minutes ago and they put it on my teleprompter for me. But let's assume that it's true just for the sake of argument.
Discovered classified documents.
Yeah.
He immediately loaded these documents into his car and drove them back to Washington to hand them over to authorities.
Yeah. One of the things about most of these types of conspiracy theories is that they are either unfalsifiable or unlikely to ever be proven or disproven. And of course, we already know the difficulty of actually disproving some of these conspiracy theories. That's a whole other question. And so these exact types of conspiracy theories are often used by the right to dupe and to propagandize their viewers. Also, unfalsifiable conspiracy theories often are self-reinforcing in the sense that conspiracy theories are often based on premises that can't be disproven. You can't prove a negative. And what that means is whether or not the theory is true, the people that follow it have absolutely no way to verify that. If you go with this one, right, the Tucker one, well, this was all in order to help Donald Trump. Well, there's absolutely no communications that suggest that the Pence stuff was to help, to hurt Donald Trump, rather. We found no communications, no documents. There's absolutely no proof. Law enforcement hasn't found anything. It's because they're in on it. The very people who did it covered up the evidence of the fact that they did it. unfalsifiable, unfalsifiable, and that makes it self-reinforcing in many ways. They're not stopping, folks. They're not stopping, and it is dangerous. We will have all of these clips. If you're a masochist and you actually were just listening today, but you want to see what Tucker and Marge look like while saying this horrible nonsense, you can find the clips on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The David Pakman Show, or on our Instagram by searching Instagram for David Pakman Show.